The service has released its preliminary 2016-2017 tax collection figures, this against the backdrop of its target being revised down by 30 billion rand. Our reporter Liabo Setho was at the briefing. We cross to her now. Liabo, what came out of that briefing?
I will leave and I will not die.
Good afternoon, Zinga. Well, the kind of briefing that we see here, it's an annual briefing, I must say, from the Reserve Bank, or rather the SARS, South African Revenue Services, I beg your pardon. It's a rare showing that I see here today. Staff has come out in support of what is seemingly the approval of the new finance minister. I'm just hearing murmurings here and there on my side about, singing about the minister, the new minister of finance, and he is inside with the commissioner, Tom Moyane. Zinga, I must point out to our viewers that this is an annual briefing by SARS, and what they aim to do is give us an update on the amount that has been collected through revenue services. And what we have heard here today is that collection of revenue has exceeded the trillion rand mark, in fact exceeding it by 300,000 rand. This means that we have collected basically more than what we expected to collect. One of the reasons we could attribute to perhaps this collection is that, of course, the impact of the economic conditions. Minister of Finance, Minister Kikaba, was the first to stand up in the podium talking about the impact of the economic conditions that South Africa currently finds itself in. He mentioned the issue of job creation, the issue of lack of jobs, and that we only have personal income tax that we heavily rely on with regards to getting taxes and using those taxes that we have. But what I have noted is that most of the staff members that were here today kept on clapping with probably each and every sentence that he spoke about. If my camera could pan towards my left to your right, you'll see that we have a lot of staff members that have come out here today. They are listening through the speakers about what is happening inside the Linton House of the SARS room. Well, perhaps you also want to find out the most other important parts that came out of this briefing. Of course, there is that what we call the elephant in the room with regards to the tax refunds, the VAT tax refunds. You'll remember that a lot of people have been complaining about tax refunds and that those have not adequately or have not been receiving them, and they want to know what is going on. The Commissioner Tom Moyane also addressed that, saying that a lot of things had to be re-looked at. They had to look into the issue of fraud. They had to look into the issue of compliance, which means this is one of the reasons that the refunds could have been delayed. But as of the 31st of March, a lot of refunds had been paid. And of course, another issue was the issue of leadership within the revenue services. You remember that there was a bit of, call it a squabble, call it maybe not understanding of each other between the former finance minister, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, and also Mr. Tom Moyane. The media inside did ask Mr. Tom Moyane about his relationship with the current finance minister, which is Mr. Malusi Kikaba, and he had said that indeed they are in good terms, and Mr. Kikaba also seconded that, saying that he comes here with no preconceived ideas about who is who at SARS and what issues are there. As I speak to you, the briefing is still going on. To my left, on your right, inside the Lincoln House, where also the DG of Treasury, Mr. Fuzile Lungisa, is also addressing the media. We might have seen in the Sunday newspapers, there has been reports that he could also be leaving. We will be finding out from him if indeed this is the case. But what I can tell you is that a lot of staff members at the revenue services seem to be very happy with themselves with regards to the amount that has been collected. We do know that, of course, the amounts that have been collected through SARS and through taxes, these help in the running of the country. These are your SARS, your payments of SASSA payments, your grant payments, building of roads, building of schools. So it remains very, very important that SARS collection is done efficiently, and we have more and more revenue streams of collection. And of course, lastly, we will be finding out about what the status quo is with regards to sugar tax. Earlier this year, the former Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan, had mentioned that there is consultation with regards to the sugar and beverage industry with regards to sugar tax. This, of course, is being looked at as another alternative or another revenue stream to make sure that we have enough taxes coming into the stream, seeing that, of course, we don't have enough people working, thereby contributing to tax. This briefing is still going on. Later in our bulletins, we will be updating you on what else went ahead inside this briefing. And it's back to the studio.
Thank you, Liabo Setho, giving us an update on the SARS briefing there. Let's look at other news from our continent now. In an effort to drive down the cost of running his government, Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo